Hello, test test. Hi, welcome in. It's my first time doing a live show at 11 o'clock. Yeah, y'all can hear me, yeah? So just wait a little while. It's just going to be a very chill session because I ran out of my words quota for the day. I think y'all can hear me. So today's session just gonna make it very chill. Okay, so it's ask me anything about career, and I'm gonna take this chance to talk about it. So if y'all have any questions that you'd like to know about career, I think this is a very easy space. Yeah, because I think TikTok recently launched a hashtag. It's called Ask Me. No, sorry. TikTok recently launched a hashtag. It's called Career Advice. Yeah, so in line with TikTok's effort, I'm here doing a live show to ask me anything about career. So maybe a quick introduction for those who are tuning in. I'm Samantha. I'm currently based in Singapore. So yeah, so many companies don't wanna hire handicapped people. Maybe do you want to give me a little bit more context? Are you in this situation right now? And are you based in Singapore? Shin, are you based in Singapore? In Singapore. Are you facing situations like what you mentioned, or is just a question that you are curious? Oh, I'm very lag, is it? Test test. I'm not doing anything, no. Don't know why so lag. I shouldn't move anything on the screen. Maybe I'll just let it stay. Okay, can. Yeah, in Singapore. So why so many companies don't wanna hire handicapped people? Mm. I think there are few reasons, and I can't speak for all the companies. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, I think one thing that COVID has taught us is that actually remote working is very possible. Yeah, I think previously people are still very are still very trapped with the idea that hey, I need to go to office to be able to be more effective at work. I need to be fully equipped for me to be a good worker. So they haven't realized that with COVID, right? They actually taught us that remote working is actually possible, and because remote working is possible, and there are some things that can be so digitalized and so fully automated. So that's where I think with COVID, it create that kind of awareness that hey, actually there are possible opportunity for people who are handicapped. So to answer Shin question, he actually asked why so many companies don't want to hire handicapped people. I think there is still a lot of education required for the companies to know how to create a workplace that is safe for people who, like you say, handicap, right? And I think handicap is a very big word. So if you can elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by handicap, that would be good also. All right. So I think education is still very much needed. I think the community support is still very important. Yeah. So that space for people to understand how to manage and work with people with extra attention needed or like handicap. I think there is still a lot of the ecosystem must be very supportive. So for everyone who is streaming in, welcome. Today is a very chill session. It's ask me anything about career. I'm a career coach, so I'm here to share my perspective so that it can give you and hopefully from my perspective and my experience working with so many professionals, it gives you a different a fresh view in terms of how you manage your career. So when you are looking for remote work, right? For example, recently I hired two virtual assistants. Okay, I hired two virtual assistants. One is based in South Africa and one is based in Singapore. All right, so there will be certain organization and there will be certain, like business owner or entrepreneurs looking for this kind of support. So, be it remote working or virtual assistant, I think that is something that Shin, you can also consider looking into. You definitely need to know what is your value proposition also. Okay, you need to know what you can bring to the table, what you can offer to the hiring manager or the employer. Okay, so it's a transaction, it's an exchange of values at the end of the day. So as much as you definitely do want to get something, okay, you also want to make sure that you can deliver. All right, so remote work does take some time, but it does exist. So you can also put yourself up for, freelance work as well. There will be website like Fiverr, Upwork, whereby you can actually list your services. If let's say you are, looking for data entry roles or data clerk, work from home kind of thing, that you can also put up your services on this freelance platform. So you need to be very resourceful. So when it comes to career job searching, for example, you need to be very resourceful. One size doesn't fit all. Okay, and the hiring landscape has also changed drastically. Okay, so I'll encourage Shin to be a little bit more resourceful in that context. You can also look for association to help you. Sometimes they have certain connections. So do also put yourself out there to network with association whereby they may be in a space to be a bridge for you. Okay, so yeah, but it's not easy. I can understand. It's definitely not easy. In fact, I can also say that even for people who are regular people who are just looking for a normal job, it can be also very competitive. All right, so everyone is facing different challenges in their own job search journey, in their own career management journey. So you're totally not alone. And thank you so much for asking this question. All right, so for everyone who are streaming in, I think I was telling those who in earlier, it's going to be a very chill session because I have maxed up my speaking quota of the day. I've been talking the whole day. All right, so I'm just going to make it very chill. So in line with TikTok's hashtag, they were talking about career advice. So I'm here to to answer any questions that you have with regards to career. I'm a career coach, all right? So I work with a lot of career professionals when it comes to career management, career transition, career planning. All right, so I think you can take this chance to ask me anything you would like to understand about career or the job market, right? So yes, so while waiting for questions or streaming in, I'm not from E2I, all right? So I'm in a private entity. Okay, so I don't represent any organization and I don't represent any agency. I speaking based on my experience, right? So don't take my word from and then say that, oh, I represent this. No, 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 no. Okay, I represent myself. Right, so I'm not from E2I. Yeah, but I believe E2I has free career services. Yeah, so some of the career coaches may be able to help as well. Right, so yes, that is that. In fact, I think recently I actually managed to work with a gentleman. He has been out of workforce for 10 years. 10 years, right? So imagine 10 years, today is 2022. So he hasn't been working since the early 2010. Yeah, so he managed to find a role into a new skill that he recently picked up. And of course he came from some background which also doesn't make it easy for him to find a work in the workforce. There will be certain stereotype, some employers may be wary. All right, so it's not a smooth journey for sure, but it is a possible journey. You just have to be very creative and a little bit more resourceful to work around it. Can work with association, you can work with alumni groups depending on where you graduate. Okay, certain places where you graduate, you actually have alumni group for support. Yeah, so that's some good places to start networking. Okay, so networking is very important when it comes to job search also, because just to let y'all know, most of the jobs that y'all see online, sometimes it is up there because they need to fulfill certain compliance issues. So the company may not be hiring. All right, I can say that some of the jobs are there for show only because of certain compliance and what's not. All right, so if you really want to get a role, okay, it's very important for you to also network. Okay, network also let you understand more about the job, more about the job culture, the work culture. All right, so do that for yourself. Okay, networking doesn't just exist in the business world. Networking exists between you and me, between people. All right, you can also think of it like making a new friend. Okay, if networking sounds like a very daunting business word, right, you can think of it like you know, making a new friend, learning about new things. All right, so that would be a good start. Yeah, so be careful that because scams exist everywhere, especially during COVID, there was a spike in scam. Okay, so just be very wary. If let's say y'all come across any job post or anybody call you and say that, oh, you need to put in this, you need to put in some money first to get a job, then that is 99.999% a scam. Okay, so no recruitment firm will require you to place to deposit money just to get an interview. There's no such thing. All right, so just be very mindful out there that yes, there are people who 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 try to do funny things. Okay, so as an individual, you also need to be very smart about it. Okay, you need to be very wise about it. So yes, there are scams. All right, so long as there are people asking you to pay some money upfront to get some job application or job interview, then that is likely a scam. So don't fall for it. All right. Okay, so yeah, hi everyone. For those who are streaming in, is I'm Samantha. I'm based in Singapore. I'm a career coach. So it's 11 o'clock at my time, so I'm going to make this damn chill. You can see that I am like my hair is messy, no makeup. Okay, yeah, just want to be here to write on TikTok trend. TikTok has this hashtag that they are launching. It's called Career Advice, and myself, I'm a career practitioner. So I'm going to use this opportunity to answer any questions that you may have about career. So feel free to interact with me and type in the chat. You can share this with friends who you know they are, you know, currently in some career transition or looking for, you know, some career perspective. Okay. I wouldn't say that I'm here to give you like advice, but I'm here to give you perspective. With perspective and you know some know-how about the market, right? It will allow you to make better informed decision. Okay, so do share with your friends that there's a share button. All right, you can also send me some likes. Likes are free for you. Okay, all right. So yeah, so that's why I'm here today. So good to see you here. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11:15. Right after this, I'm going to sleep. Okay, so I hope all of y'all are enjoying your week. Yeah. Okay, so Shin asked a very good question. You know, how to answer if the employer asks you what your previous pay is like. All right, so now in the context of Singapore, it is not illegal for them to ask. All right, but neither are they encouraged to ask. Okay, so you are not obligated to give things like your pay slip. You know, sometimes they say, "Can I have your pay slip?" You are not obligated to give. But maybe I share with you from the perspective of the employer why they ask that first. All right. Now, from the perspective of employer, sometimes they ask you for your previous pay or they ask you for your pay slip is because number one, they want to verify your employment status. Okay, they want to verify that you are whatever that you say are true is true. Okay, yeah. So that is from an employer perspective because there are employers themselves who actually when there are job seekers who are also not honest. Okay, because some job seekers are not honest, they spoil the market, so employers becomes very wary. Okay, so that is probably a few reasons why they ask you for your pay slip or your previous pay because they want to verify that number one, you are whatever you say is legit. Okay, number two, they also want to know whether they can afford you. Okay, so when they ask you for your previous pay, they roughly have an indication of what is your expected salary. Okay, it could be around it could be around your previous pay range, or usually people look for a pay increment. So they will be able to have a gauge whether whatever that you are expecting is something that they can afford. Okay, they can afford to pay you. So that are some of the reasons why they ask you for your pay or pay slip. So that is from the perspective of the employer. So I'm sharing this so that you understand. All right. Now, on your hand, on the other side, now has a job seeker. How can you answer questions like that? How can you answer questions when they ask you for your previous pay? All right, so you can, okay, so you can give them a range. All right, so you can either give them, usually, depending on which is higher, okay, you can give them whichever that is higher. Is it your monthly salary that is higher, or is it your annual salary is higher? So you can say that, you can say along that line that my annual salary is between this range, because there are other benefits and allowance. So this is pretty much the figure. Yeah. So you can give them a guide, all right? You can give them a range. If you are really very uncomfortable, then you can check with them nicely. You can say that, I just like to understand, whether, what what is the objective. Okay, usually I know what's the objective. The objective is why they is whatever that I've just said. Okay, so usually you'll be good to give them a range. If you are very uncomfortable to talk about it, you can say that maybe you can let them know that, I'm a little bit uncomfortable to share about my previous pay is because of whatever reason. Maybe you are doing a career switch and then the role and your previous role are not related, right? You can say that, oh, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I think you can say that I'm a little bit uncomfortable to share about my previous pay because the nature of work is very different. Yeah, and I think when it comes to this role, I did some research about this show and I understand what is the market rate. The market rate is between X to Y dollars, and this is something that I am looking at as well, and I'm open to negotiate if, let's say, you find me a good fit for the role. All right, so you can redirect the question, and then you can actually ask them. So after you have answered them, my suggestion and my encouragement to every one of you who are tuning in right now, interview is two ways, right? It's not always the person asking and you answer. You need to be in an empowered position also. So rather than just, uh, be the one that is being questioned, okay, you can actually ask question. You can say that, maybe you can. I would also like to know if you are able to share with me, what is the budget that you have allocated for this role. Okay, so when you ask them that question, then they will also be able to share with you a rough figure, right? They may say, oh, whatever that you have researched is correct. Our budget is around this, or they may say, oh, my budget is between this. Is this okay for you? Or if they are really uncomfortable, they will just probably say that they are not able to review the budget at this point in time. All right, so there will be times whereby things like this can happen. So I will encourage you to have two-way conversation, okay, rather than one directional, that you are the one that is being asked. Actually, interview is two ways. Okay, you should treat it like a conversation, like you talking to a friend, you talking to, your colleague. It should be a conversation, just that whatever that you are sharing is strategic, is very strategic in the sense that, of course, you don't say things that is too, that doesn't position you well for the role. Okay, so whatever that you say should still position you well for the role. Okay, so that's what I meant. All right, and you don't say anything that is not related to the role lah, basically. So you just have to be very, focused in terms of the conversation. All right. Okay, so that is in terms of how to answer questions like what is your pay? Can I have your pay slip? All right. Okay, things like that. Good question. Okay, keep them coming in. So today's session is, casual, free and easy, because it is 11:20 my time, 11:20 p.m. my time, and I'm really ready to go to sleep after the session tonight. And I've been talking the whole day, so I've max my, speaking quota, already. Okay, and you can see that I am a bit dressed now, so hope y'all don't mind. Okay, so you can take this chance to ask me anything that you like to understand about career. Okay, I'm a career practitioner myself, so I work with a huge group of, clients, a huge range, are very diverse, as young as, undergraduates, fresh grads, all the way to, mid-career switchers, to my most senior client, is in his 70s. Okay, that is my most senior client. All right, so everybody, are working, look for work for different reasons and have different objective and goals that they want to achieve as well. All right, so career journey is very different for every individual. Okay, what works for you may not work for me. Okay, so one thing about career is I just shared with one of my, in one of my training session today, is that one thing that you need to refrain from doing is compare yourself with someone else. Okay, you shouldn't compare your career journey with someone else. Because the thing is, your offerings are different. Okay, your expectations are different as well. So it is good reference, but it is not a good basis of comparison. Okay, so those are never the best thing to compare when it comes to career growth. All right, so that's that. All right, so hi everyone, I'm Samantha. Okay, I'm here tonight to stay here for another probably 30 minutes or so to answer any questions that you like to understand about career. All right, so TikTok has this hashtag called career advice. All right, and I'm here to share a lot more about career. If let's say you have any questions, you can drop into the chat. Okay, and just type, yeah, and then I will do my best to answer. Okay, yeah, and I don't represent any organization, I don't represent anybody, so I am just me. Okay, I'm just me. Okay, so yeah, very casual session. So you have any question you can ask, otherwise you'll be looking at me and I'll be looking at you. It'll be so boring, right? Okay, so I think Shin has been asking me quite a couple of good questions. What should you say when employer asks you about your previous pay or even asks you about your paycheck? It's very common, right? So yeah, so questions like that, if let's say you are interested to know or not sure how to position yourself, I think this is really a good time to ask. All right, because it's free. Okay, it's free. Yeah. Okay. How to ignore people who are toxic at the workplace? Okay. How to ignore? Why you cannot ignore? They affect you. Okay. Work culture is it's hard to ignore them, right? It's hard to ignore people who are toxic because you can't change them. Okay, so the fact of life is that you can change people. So you can't really ignore them. But what can you do? They accuse you, huh? You can type. I'm waiting for you. Do you know that your personal branding, your personal visibility in the organization is very important? Okay, so sometimes how you present yourself is very critical. Okay, so the thing is, whatever Shin that you ask me, I can't give you a very complete sharing. Is because I do not know different side of the question, different side of the context of the situation that you are in, right? Yeah, so let's talk about it. Yeah, so sometimes it's not about what you never say. Sometimes it's also about what you say or what you did not say. Okay, your actions, your body language does also matter. I'm not saying that you are wrong. I'm just saying that many things can happen and people can misinterpret things, right? So so one thing that can help you is, number one, your personal branding, your personal visibility in the organization is important. Okay, so how you approach your work on a day-to-day basis is important. Okay, how people view you in terms of your capabilities, I think that is something that you also have to reflect. Okay, you also have to reflect the things that you do on a daily basis when you are working, and the things that you did not do. Okay, so sometimes the things that hurt us are the things that we did not do, and it's not about the things that we do. Okay, so yeah, I will encourage you to do some reflection first. Okay, and if of course if the people is really toxic, there's no way you can manage them. You don't manage people who are toxic. Okay, because you can't change them. Hi everyone, I'm Samantha. I'm based in Singapore. I'm doing career management. I'm a career practitioner, so I provide career services, all right, to a lot of professionals based in Singapore. So today's session is a very chill session. Just going to right on TikTok trend. Okay, they are talking about career advice, and I guess I'm in a very good position to do that because I do that on a day-to-day basis. So if let's say you have any question that you'd like to know about career management, I think this is a good time to ask. Bye, Shi. Yeah, can keep it casual. You can share this session with your friends or anyone you know who are looking out. Okay, maybe this will be a good time for them to transit. Okay, and they have anything that you want to ask, they can ask me now. Okay, otherwise, you can give me likes. The likes are free. Okay, let's see if there are anything that I can share. Okay, how do you make sure that you are not, you don't, okay, so there's one question. Should you take up the first offer that comes to you? Does anyone have this situation? Should you take up any the first offers that comes to you? First job offer. Hi Hassan. Hello. Where are you based? Introduce yourself. Type type type. Where are you from? Okay, so I was asking a question, right? Should you take up the first offer that comes to you? Okay, because there was one of my client that asked me earlier today, you want to join my live? Okay, can, but you need to give me a bit of introduction of yourself. Are we on the same topic? Okay, we need to be on the same topic so that we can have conversation. Should you take up the first offer? I'm talking, ask me anything about career. That is my topic. Okay, so I'm a career practitioner, so I talk about career. Yeah. So today's topic is about career. Mm. So just now the question was, should you take up the first offer that comes to you? You know, you do not know whether there will be other offers coming. Okay, so number one, I hope that you never put yourself in a situation whereby you have only one option. Okay, I hope you put yourself in a condition, create condition whereby you put you create condition for yourself whereby the situation you are being offered a few choices so that you can evaluate all these choices. That will be something that I'll encourage you to have. Okay, so create conditions for that to happen. Don't just take the first offer that comes. Right, so in order to not get to the situation whereby you only have one um, choice, okay, you need to create condition. You need to make sure you have a few options coming in. And how to have a few options coming in, that means to say in terms of your job application, you should have enough job application that leads you to enough number of interviews that will lead you to a couple of offers. All right, so never put yourself in just that situation. You want to join my live session? Okay, let's see. How do I add? Do you have a question that you want to ask me? Because I have never just invite someone into my live session without understanding what you do. Because I also don't want to affect other people. Yeah. So maybe you can give me a bit of introduction about yourself so that I know whether it is we can be talking about the same topic, right? So I'm here tonight, right? I think it's a very good timing after on a Friday. I hope you all have a good Friday evening. I'm going to talk, you guys can take this chance to ask me anything about career. Okay, so TikTok has this new hashtag called career advice. So I'm riding on this trend and I'm a career practitioner myself based in Singapore. So I work with undergrads all the way to fresh grads, as well as professionals who are transiting into different careers. So that is what I do on a day-to-day basis. So if you have anything that you like to understand about career or career questions that you have for me, this is a good time for you to ask. Um, you can drop your questions in the chat box. You can share this video with your friends. You can give me more likes because likes are free for you. Okay? Yeah. So Isabel asked me, oh, hi Isabel. Thanks for tuning in. What is my best career advice? Alright. I think you know how we plan for our weekend, right? You know how we plan for our holidays. You know, now with borders up and are opening, we plan where we want to travel, how to spend our leave. We also plan our finances. How do I want to spend my money? Okay, using the same concept, my best advice is you also have to use the same concept to plan for your career. Why? Because career is very different in today's context. You know, in probably in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, you can stay in a job for all your life and then you can climb the corporate ladder and you still be okay. But in today's context, if you stay in a job for let's say 1-2 years and you don't get your due promotion, your pay raise, it is very hard for you to progress further in the company. So the job landscape has changed, and if you don't plan for your career, if you outsource your career success to your company, they may not put you as a priority. Okay, they will not put you as a priority because company and businesses have their own focus. Okay, what do they care about? What do companies care about? Companies care about four things. First thing, top line. Top line meaning to say the revenue. Okay, they want to have more revenue. Okay, so every business works the same. What is their top line? The second thing that they care about is how can I reduce costs? Okay, how can I reduce expenses, business expense? That's the number two thing that company care about. Third thing that company care about is how can I increase productivity? How can I be more efficient, more productive? That's the third thing. The fourth thing that company care about will be how do I provide amazing client and customer experience? Okay, so these are the four things that companies always care about and they are always thinking about it. So if you feel that the company should take care of your career success, make sure that you get your promotion, make sure that you get your pay raise. It is not going to happen, all right? You have to take charge of it. So my best career advice for anyone who is tuning in is plan for your career. Okay, your career success is not determined by your company, but it's determined by you. Okay, so how do you make sure that you take control? Number one tip is if you're in your company right now, you need to figure out what is the internal roadmap. Internal roadmap of the company includes what is the career progression like. What is the internal mobility like? Internal mobility means, you know, are you able to shift from department to department to learn different things? Okay, so internal mobility is something that you need to understand whether it exists in the company. Okay, so you need to figure out the internal roadmap. You want to know when is our next pay raise, right? You want to know how to get your pay raise, right? Then you need to know what are you being measured on? How do the bosses or how do the top management determine whether you are due for a promotion or pay raise? You need to have that figure out. All right, so if you are working in your company, you need to have that roadmap. You need to understand the structure of the company. Okay, so have that. So once you understand what are the success metrics that you are being measured on, then you can work your career towards that. So if let's say you need to have this personal KPI, then you make sure that in your work, right, you make sure you work towards that. So in your okay, nobody does monthly appraisal. In your quarterly appraisal, for example, you can showcase your achievement. You need to quantify your achievement, all right? So while you are working, please learn to quantify your achievement. How do you quantify your achievement? You quantify them by stating what you achieve, not what you do, what you achieve. Okay, so what you do is something like this. I prepare weekly report. This is what you do, right? I prepare weekly report is what you do. They don't care about what you do. They care about what you achieve. So what does your weekly report does? What outcome does it achieve? So I prepare weekly reports that will enable the company, that will enable the business leader to make informed decision when it comes to cost effectiveness. Okay, so this is what your weekly report achieved. Okay, so people care about the achievement, not so much about what you do. Okay, so you need to quantify it. Okay, so that is an example. All right, so um, you must remember, and quantifying is very important, because if you know how to quantify your achievement, what you do in terms of achievement, this is what you should be writing in your resume. Okay, right. A lot of people, when they write resume, they always write what they do. Okay, prepare weekly report, liaise with vendors, mm, stakeholder management, things like that. This is what you do. Okay, you should state what you do, what does it lead to. Okay, what does managing stakeholder means? Okay, you manage internal, external stakeholders in order to what? Okay, when you manage them, what do you achieve? Okay, so what do you achieve is important. So most people do not have the achievement or quantify part, right, in their resume. So this is the biggest thing that is missed out. All right. So hi everyone, hi for tuning in. I'm Samantha. I'm based in Singapore. I'm a career practitioner. So I'm here today because I'm just opening up the session for you to ask me anything about career. All right. So TikTok has this hashtag called career advice. All right. You guys can go and follow this hashtag and look up for more videos. Okay. And then I'm here to answer any questions that you have with regards to career. All right. So if you have any questions, just pop into the chat. Okay, or you know of any friends who are going through career transition and they need to speak to a career coach, I think this is the best time for them to ask me questions, right? So share this video with them or share this link with them. There's a share button at the bottom of your screen, and then invite them in. And of course, you can ask me questions. You can drop some likes because likes are free. Okay, so I'm gonna stay here for probably another 15 minutes. Okay, and then after this, I can have a good night's sleep. So I need to thank you guys for accompanying me, right? So yes. Okay, questions, anybody? Hello, thanks for joining. Okay, I'm doing it's a ask me anything. Okay, AMA career. All right, ask me anything about career that you like to know. Okay, and I'll do my best to address them. I do not represent any organizations. Okay, so just to let you know. Okay, hi Rashad. Hello. Hi. Okay, thanks for tuning in on a Friday evening. Okay, Friday night for me. I'm based in Singapore. I'm a career practitioner, so I'm here today to want to share with the community in terms of if you have anything that you like to know about career. Okay, any questions, it could be from resume to interview to job search to career planning, career management. I'm here to share my experience or share my expertise in this session tonight. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop them in the chat so that I can address them. I've been answering a couple of questions tonight already, so I think if you have any questions, just like drop them in. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah. Hi, hi. Do you all know how inflation is going to affect the job market? Okay, I'm not here to talk about finance. Okay, I'm not here to talk about anything about the stock market and everything. Okay, I'm here to talk about macro economy and how does it affect job market. Do you all know? Because the whole world is experiencing inflation, and then recently federal interest rate increase, right? So how does it affect you and me as employees, or paycheck? You live on paycheck. What job most citizens do in Korea? What job? That's a very interesting question. Hmm. I don't really work a lot with Korean clients, right? So I wouldn't be able to share with you what jobs are the most popular jobs. I will definitely not be able to give you any context to it, right? So I don't think I can answer that question. Do you? what I can do right now is I can do a quick search. Maybe I can search for most popular job in Korea. Are you a Korean? Are you based in Korea? Because your nickname is in Japanese words. So are you a Japanese? Are you based in Japan? Hmm. Based on Google search, the most popular jobs in Korea are editor, English content development, sales and marketing, public relations, analyst, analyst in terms of securities in this case refers to the banking and finance securities, stockbroker, programmers and developers. So programmers and developer are in the IT, project management, English teacher. Okay, so just from this list, I can see that English is a hot demand. Are people in Korea wanting to learn English? Are you Korean yourself? Okay, so I do not understand Japanese, so I cannot I cannot pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So okay, so rather than to there is I believe in abundance. Okay, so it's hard to say what job is what most people do because it depends on market demands, right? Whether you are in healthcare, whether you are in logistic, whether you are in finance, whether you're in education. Okay, every sector requires people. Otherwise, it's not going to work. The society is not going to function, right? So every sector will require people. Every sector will require talent. Every sector will require workers. So the question that you should ask yourself, rather than what are the jobs that most people do, is what is your contribution? What is your unique selling value? What is the skills that you can bring to the company? How can you value at the company? That will also be your strength. Okay, what is your strength? Okay, what can you contribute? Once you have that figure out, right, you will be able to position yourself for it because every industry will require certain talent, right? So it will be important. So maybe number one is you can understand about the sector, the industry that you want to go into. So sector, I mean bigger sector will be things like healthcare, logistics, finance, education, travel, tourism, aerospace, chemical, oil and gas. All these are sectors, industry sectors. So number one, you can figure out which sector you want to go. Number two, you may want to know what is your key strength. Okay, when I say strength, I refer to, will the company pay you for your skills? Okay, so on a very practical note, will the company pay you for your skills? Right? Then fit yourself in. Okay, so that's a good question. Okay, so I'm based in Singapore. All right, so TikTok recently have this hashtag called career advice. Okay, I'm a career practitioner based in Singapore, so I work with workers, I work with professionals in terms of career management, career transition. So I'm here today to answer any questions that you have about career. So you have any questions that you want to ask, I think you can drop them in the chat. Okay, you can share it with your friends. You can send me some likes so that I know that you are responding and listening to me. Okay, so it's a very chill session because it's a long day for me. I've been talking the whole day. Yeah. So if you have any question about career, I think resume, interview, job search, I think I'll be very happy to share as much as I can. And I don't represent any organization. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely find out more about the work that I do in my profile. So you can follow me. Okay, you can, there's my profile link in my profile. There's my profile link in my profile. Okay, so I'm very active on a few social media. TikTok is one. I try to be as active as I can. I'm definitely pretty active on things like LinkedIn. So I write a couple of articles that you guys can follow and read. Some of those can be useful for you when it comes to your job search. Okay, so yes. Oh, just now I was asking, do y'all know how inflation has on job market? Okay, we just have COVID, right? COVID is not the best thing that happened to some of us. Okay, so COVID itself is not a health crisis. It's more than a health crisis. It's also an economic crisis because it transformed the way that we work. You talk about the way we work now, it is very different. okay, compared to how we used to work last time. Some certain fundamentals are being shaken. Okay, so that's one. So now with COVID, and then with now so much uncertainty in the world right now, with inflation, with increase, increase of interest rate and everything, how does it affect you and me as job, as someone who is employee, for example? How will it affect you? You need to understand. Okay, so it will definitely affect the job market if this increase in inflation and tax rate continue to increase. We will also see another period whereby there will also be loss of job. There will also be retrenchment going on, for simple reason. When there's inflation, everything is more expensive, right? When everything is more expensive, company needs to spend more. Remember, expense goes up. If expense goes up, it's not a good thing for company. They will definitely want to reduce costs. And when they want to reduce costs, one of the things that they will try to cut will be manpower, because manpower is usually the one of the highest costs for any business. So when they are trying to cut costs, retrenchment will happen. Okay, when things are rising, prices are going more and more expensive, it will also affect individual, because your pay will never be able to beat inflation. That is a cold hard truth. There are a few things that is certain in life. Number one, tax. You have to pay tax. Number two, death is certain in life. Number three, I'm going to include one more. What is certain in life is that your pay raise will never beat inflation. Will never. Okay, so no matter how much pay increment you have, it's not going to be enough. Your money will never be enough, or rather I would say salary will never be enough for you to live to enough. If let's say, if you have certain goals and ambition that you want to achieve in your life. Okay, so yeah, so inflation will definitely affect the job market. So right now, if let's say let's say you are working, okay, I wouldn't suggest you to quit just because you feel like it. Okay, if you really want to quit your current job, I would suggest that you have another job offer. Okay, don't quit just because you feel like it, because the pressure of not having a job. Okay, so for some people, job is their only stream of income. Okay, they need pay, they need a monthly salary. If your job is your only source of income, okay, and you quit and you do not have another job, you are just waiting for another job offer to come, it's going to be very risky, and I wouldn't encourage that. Maybe working is stressful, but not working and not having a pay, and if that is your only stream of income, is also very stressful. Different stress only, but still stressful. Okay, so you just need, both are difficult, you just need to know how to manage yourself better. Okay, yeah. So if you are looking for a career switch, or quitting your job, my suggestion is get a job before you quit your current job. All right, you don't want to be in a situation that you cannot find a job. Okay, because of the current job market is a bit volatile, it's very ambiguous. Okay, you do not know when you're going to get your next role. Things are so uncertain. Inflation will affect job market, okay, because companies will think of cutting costs and reducing expense. So it will affect you. It may not affect you directly, but it may affect the surrounding. So all of us are interconnected, right? So since all of us are interconnected, it's a domino effect. Okay, so it's not about whether you will be affected or not. The question is, to what degree will you be affected? So that would be a better question to ask yourself. How much will I be affected? So hi everyone, thanks for coming in. All right, I know that I'm seeing some people here. I'm Samantha. I'm based in Singapore, and I'm a career practitioner. I'm a career coach. All right, so I work with professionals when it comes to career management, career transition, career planning, job search, interview, resume, etc., personal branding. Okay, these are some of the things that I work very closely with my client. Career breakthrough is also something I work with my clients. So today's session is ask me anything about career, and I will do my best to answer. So if you have any question, you can drop them in the chat box. Okay, I'm reading the chat, and then you can share this video to whoever you know need it. At the same time, you can also give me some likes, because likes are free for you, but it's very good for me because it's a form of encouragement, right? So Yes, and if you want to know more about the work that I do, you can follow me on TikTok. Okay, just hit follow me on my profile. There's also profile link whereby you can check out more of the things that I do. Okay. All right. So it's 11:52. I'm just going to stay here for another 8 minutes. I'm going to say goodnight to all of you all at 12 midnight. Okay, so that I can sleep. Okay, so any one of you have any career questions, I think you can ask me now. You can drop them in the chat. Hello. Okay, I'm talking about career. If you're interested to understand more about career or questions about career, ask me in the chat. All right. Hi everyone. I'm Samantha, based in Singapore, career coach. All right, so follow me. Okay, share my video, give me more likes. And of course, most importantly, if you have questions and you have questions that you'd like to know about career, feel free to ask me here. You can drop them in the chat box. Okay, so I will do my best to answer if you have anything that you'd like to know about career management. Okay, I'm just going to stay here for another 5-7 minutes before I call it a day. And then, in fact, I'm doing a few more rounds. Okay, I'm going to share with you when are the other dates. And I will do a couple of videos to so that y'all know when is the next live session. In fact, this is my first live session for this month, talking about career. So TikTok has this thing called career advice. So because I'm a career coach and career practitioner myself, okay, so I will be conducting a few live sessions to answer questions that you have about career. Right, so tonight is the first session. Okay, the next two sessions will be on, give me 1 second when I find my next two sessions. 13th of May, I'm doing a session, and 16th of May, I'm also doing another session. So 13 and 16, and it's both at 8:30 p.m. Singapore time. In fact, 13th of May, I'm going to probably share a little bit about career wellness. Okay, so a lot of people don't understand that work is part of your life. A lot of people hate to talk about work, and most people don't like to talk about work, probably also because you work from Monday to Friday, is so much of your life taken away already, right? But I just hope to give you another perspective, is that work is going to be a large part of us. It's important for us to do work that we find meaningful, okay, and do work that we find purposeful and be happy in what we do. Okay, your work will define a lot about you. Okay, like will define your value, the contribution that you have. So don't think of work as a dirty word, or think of work itself as a very boring word. It's very important because it will contribute to your wellness as well. A lot of people talk about mental wellness, psychological wellness, emotional wellness, but vocational wellness, occupational wellness, or career wellness is also part of our overall well-being. So if you do not know, there is actually 10 dimensions of wellness. Okay, so on 13th of May, 8:30 p.m., I'm going to talk about career wellness, all right? And then on 16th of May, 8:30 p.m., also Singapore time, probably I can share a little bit some tips for job seeker. So if let's say you are a job seeker or intending to be on the lookout, then probably that session will also be very useful for you. And meanwhile, if you have any last questions that you want to understand or ask about career, please use this chance to ask me. You can ask me, drop the question in the chat box. Okay, and I will comment. I think you can comment, and then I will answer whatever questions that you have about career. And then you can follow me. Okay, you can follow me on TikTok. All right, and of course, there's my personal link. I'm on various social media, so feel free to check them out. It is on my it's on my portfolio profile, not portfolio. All right, so it's on my profile itself. Okay, so just looking at this. Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Samantha. I'm based in Singapore. Okay, so I'm just gonna stay here for another couple more minutes because I'm tired. It's been a long day. Okay, and if you have any last question that you want to ask me about career, I think you have the last chance to drop them into the chat, okay, and I'll answer. You can share this video, okay, can you replay it? No, I don't think you can replay it, but what I will do is usually I will download my videos, like all my live session, okay, and then I will repost it on YouTube. So if you want to watch the replay, you can go to my YouTube to watch it, right? Okay, so and where can you find my YouTube and everything? Just go to my profile, follow my profile, and then there's my personal link, and then that's where you can follow me on different mediums. And there are also some free guides that you can download for free. So go and use them. Okay, so all these resources are free. Yeah. So that is that. Yeah. So TikTok has this hashtag called career advice. So as a career practitioner myself, uh, it's something that I do day in and day out. So I thought to use this opportunity to share with anyone who wants to know more about their career. So if you have any question that you want to ask, you can drop them into the chat box. Okay, and I will answer them to my best of my ability. I do not represent any organization in the context of this. Okay, I represent myself. Okay, yeah. Okay, so any questions? Um, okay. You can see that I can't wait to go to sleep. Oh, look at this. Okay. Any questions that you like to understand about career? Okay, you can ask me. You can drop in into the chat box. You can give me some likes also. Can share my profile, share this video, follow me on TikTok. I share a couple more tips every now and then. In fact, there will be 2 more sessions coming up. One is 13th of May, 8:30 p.m. and the other one is 16th of May, 8:30 p.m. All right. So yes, let's see. I'm also using my computer. Let's see my computer. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see my computer. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, like my posts, share my video, share my profile. I share a lot more on career tips, okay, career management, and some of that will be very relevant to you, right? Yeah. So long as you are working, okay, they are very, very, very relevant for you. Okay. Thanks everyone for spending your evening here with me. I'm gonna end today's session. It's 12 midnight. Okay. I need to get my beauty sleep. Okay. If not, I will turn into a very ugly pumpkin and y'all do not want to see that. Alright. So I'm gonna catch you live again on 13th of May, 8:30 Singapore time. I'm gonna talk about career wellness. And then on 16th of May, 16th of May, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time as well. I'm going to talk about some tips for job seekers or job search itself. All right. So if you have any question, please feel free to comment. All right. Follow me. Okay. So number one, send me some likes, please. Okay. Then so that I know you're with me. Okay. I don't feel so lonely here. Okay. So follow me on TikTok. Okay. So go to my profile, follow me, and then once you follow me, you can see under the link is my personal link. There are some free guides that you can download. You can follow me on different medium to read about my articles or even my engagement. Sometimes I post it so that y'all can listen for free. Right? Okay, so with that, I'm done talking. Okay, I'm done talking. Too much words. I cannot talk anymore. Okay, so good night, everyone. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend and enjoy. Bye bye.